Back to the CTV story. I'll read a little more. They have handed over to police recordings of the phone calls and screen grabs of the texts which reference the Islamic State and include pictures of beheadings and armed jihadis. W5 has listened to the phone calls. In one, a man laughs as he says in Arabic, "I am the man who effed you. I am your rapist." A second caller denounces Yazidis as devil worshippers, and a third caller makes a graphic reference to rape. The callers appear to have Iraqi, North African, and Gulf state accents. York Regional Police have assembled a team to try to track where the calls are originating. I'm curious how these ISIS terrorists would even be able to find these women in Canada and find their contact info, their phone numbers like that. I mean, I don't know where these latest threats came from, but according to this story, last year by our friend Barbara Kay, writing in the National Post, who met with some of these Yazidi women now in Canada. So just like I met with the Yazidis in Germany, Barbara met last year with the Yazidis in Canada, and they say that ISIS terrorists, they're rapists, are here in Canada too. They were brought in to Canada by Justin Trudeau. They're not just right here in Canada somewhere, they're literally in the same town as the women they raped. One of them spotted one of them on the street. Let me quote, I'm going to quote the story from Barbara Kay. She has been living in London, Ontario for 8 months. Recently on a bus, she recognized X, the slave market boss who had owned her and used her for months. They got off at the same stop. X saw her, covered his face, and ran off. So we actually knew a year ago, that's when Barbara's story ran, that ISIS terrorists who kept rape slaves, who sold rape slaves, those are war crimes, by the way. They were walking our streets, harassing and terrifying their former victims, it sounds like. But they're here in Canada in any event. That's like after the Second World War when Nazi concentration camp guards, I don't know, fled or escaped in disguise or something from Germany to Argentina. Some even came here to Canada after the war. Were living in a disguise, hiding from justice, hiding their past. Except Argentina, that's one thing. Canada, we're not supposed to be a banana republic. We're supposed to be a nation of the rule of law, and our government is supposed to keep us safe. And those ISIS rape slavers are here in Canada? We knew this a year ago, by the way. But who's kidding whom? Our Prime Minister gives public apologies to terrorists like Omar Khadr. And Trudeau has given at least 3 other Muslim terrorists or accused terrorists or people arrested on suspicion of terrorism. He's given them each $10 million. So that's $40 million to terrorists or accused terrorists or people arrested on suspicion of terror. Add in Meher Arar, you're up to $50 million now. But remember, Trudeau says our Canadian military veterans, you know, they're just simply asking for more than he can give, so he'll fight them in court forever.
First of all, why are we still fighting against certain veterans groups in court? Because they're asking for more than we are able to give right now.
So that's story number 1. ISIS terrorists still terrifying ISIS victims right here in Canada. You know, I was in Germany visiting those Yazidi refugees. I think that was 3 years ago now. I thought, well, that's Germany, it's far away. No, now that same dystopian horror story has come here to Canada. Justin Trudeau has brought it here. Justin Trudeau has brought 50,000 Syrians here, unvetted, from the world's worst rape culture. He brought that here. Are you surprised that one of Trudeau's Syrians is charged with the rape and murder of 13-year-old Marissa Shen in Vancouver? Why was he here in the first place? That's an excerpt from the Ezra Levant show. Every day I do a video monologue and then I interview an interesting guest and then I end by reading my hate mail. But you've got to subscribe to it, which you can do at therebel.media/shows.